Hello, boys and girls. It's Aunty Mimmi here, and today our fun book is from Lego City, and it's called Fire Team Adventure. Sounds fun, doesn't it? If you've not already subscribed to the channel, please do so now. Then sit back, get comfortable, and let's begin. The sun beamed brightly on Lego City. Firefighter Pete had polished off his breakfast and a mid-morning snack as well, and still neither of the phones at the fire station had rung. It's just one of those days, he thought a little sadly. He was a hard-working firefighter and he loved his job. Suddenly, both phones rang at once. Pete picked up both receivers simultaneously. "Fire!" he heard on both sides. "Where?" he shouted. After lots of recent call-outs to deal with wasps and hornets' nests, he was excited to finally hear news of a fire. "At the hotel near the bay," said both callers at the same time. Pete gave a sigh of relief. Luckily, both alarms came from the same place. "Let's go, guys," he shouted, rousing the rest of the firefighters from their midday nap. They raced through the streets of Lego City, sirens wailing. As fire chief officer, Pete rode ahead in the super-fast fire car, followed by the fire truck, with the rescue truck bringing up the rear. All the other cars on the road pulled over and stopped to let them pass. A column of smoke was already rising in the distance, making it easy to see where the fire was. "The fire has cut off the hotel guests' escape route," the police officer told Pete over his walkie-talkie. "You might need a helicopter." "We'll get on that right away," Pete replied as he pulled up at the scene. A throng of bystanders had gathered in front of the hotel. Suddenly, one of the windows crashed down, followed by a pair of suitcases and a pot of flowers. A tourist stood on the ledge, clutching a camera. "Make room," Pete roared at the crowd through his megaphone. Then he and the other firefighters grabbed their jump sheet and ran into position below the window. "Go ahead and jump," Pete shouted to the man. But instead of the tourist, only the camera dropped into the sheet. "First take my picture," the tourist demanded. It's some madman, thought Pete. More people began to appear at the window of the upper floors. Some of them were even clinging to the roof. "I'll never grill steaks again," the cook shouted down from one of the windows. The police officer was right. "We're going to need a helicopter," Pete said to himself. He summoned the fearless pilot Paul into action. Meanwhile, the other firefighters tried to put out the fire. Two of them mounted the ladder, but it wouldn't reach the top floors. They managed to lead some people down, while others battled the flames with extinguishers and hoses. "I've lost my cat," cried one of the rescued women. "Can you find it?" The helicopter began to circle over the hotel. "Take my picture, take it now," shouted the tourist, craning his neck. "I'll never have another chance like this. I could win the prize for photo of the year, the golden hair." Tongues of flame were now leaping high behind the tourist. "This guy is really crazy. Take his picture now or he's going to toast himself up there," said Pete to the boy who was standing beside him. Pete handed him the tourist camera. "Go ahead and jump," he shouted again. Just then the helicopter dumped a flood of water onto the burning building, washing the tourist off the ledge and straight onto the jump sheet. "Eee!" squealed the drenched bystanders. "I can't swim," roared the tourist, flailing helplessly about on the jump sheet. "Stand up, please," said Pete. The water barely reached the tourist's knees. "I'm Jacob," the tourist sneezed while shaking the firefighter's hand. "Thanks for your help. I'm going to get a runny nose. Water was dripping from his jacket. And my money is all wet, he added, putting a hand into his soggy pocket. Better wet than burned, giggled the boy. But a moment later his jaw dropped. The water swept your camera away, he said. No, this can't be, cried Jacob, instantly forgetting about his runny nose. I took a shot of you and... The boy tried to explain, but the tourist wouldn't let him speak. £1,000 reward for the camera, he screamed, or even 2,000. We'll find it without any reward, said Pete, trying to calm him down. The fire was put out and the dangerous part of the action was now over. The hotel will have to be rebuilt, Pete thought as he jumped into his car. But the most important thing is that no one got hurt. Are you going to look for my cat? Pete heard through the open window. The cat owner had tears in her eyes. He ran off as soon as his fire started. He's white and fluffy. His name is Pete. Just like me, the firefighter was about to say, but he thought it would sound silly. Don't worry, we'll find Pete, he said, driving off with a squeal in his tyres. Operation Camera and Cat, Pete announced through his walkie-talkie. A white cat and a tourist camera have gone missing. I'm calling on everyone to help. Motorised or on foot, by land, sea or air. Yes, sir, the brave firefighters barked as one. Pete had just finished searching nearby streets and questioning passers-by when Paul, the helicopter pilot, made contact. There's a surfboard floating on the waves by the shore. The owner's not in sight, but under the water we can make out the shape of a shark. And it looks like a camera is lying on the surfboard. That's all I need, Pete groaned to himself. There hadn't been any sharks sighted near the coast of Lego City for a long time, and now this. Attention all units, nobody can go swimming. Post lifeguards along the beach. There's a man-eating shark in the water. Pete called over his walkie-talkie. I don't know if it's a man-eater, responded a sceptical-sounding Paul. But it's already swimming away on the surfboard, and it's taking pictures of us with the camera. Maybe it has escaped from the circus. That must be it, said Pete. He recalled a police report from 2 weeks earlier about a shark missing from a circus. Pete immediately called the police, and a moment later he gave a new order to the helicopter's crew. Action! Shark! Lower your net into the water and get it under the surfboard. Then transport the shark to the circus along with the surfboard. The camera has to be returned. Yes, Chief, Paul responded. The crowd of bystanders looking for more excitement followed the firefighters from the hotel to the seashore. My camera is in the jaws of a shark, cried the excited tourist. What a picture! That would really be something. I'll take a shot with my mobile phone. He took out his mobile and started taking pictures of the shark clutching his camera in its jaws. There's a kitten wandering around in the pizzeria, the officer on duty at the police station reported. We heard you're looking for... Pizzeria, cried Pete, remembering that he had invited his girlfriend out for a pizza today. He glanced at his watch. He should have been there 15 minutes ago. He turned around and raced towards the enticing aroma of his favourite pizza place. Pete pulled his vehicle over and stopped on the side street next to the cash machine. He found a flower. Not too much the worse for wear. That must have washed down with the water dumped from the helicopter. I'll give the flower to Meg, Pete thought, if she's still waiting for me. As he was running towards the pizzeria, he got another report from the police station. "Thank you for your help, Pete. The shark, everyone was looking for it back at the pool at the circus, but taking the camera away from him was quite a problem. Finally, he returned it on the condition that he will be given his own." Phew, we're done with the shark, thought Pete with relief. Pete got to the pizzeria just as Meg was getting up to leave. "Don't be upset," he said, and handed her the flower. "You have no idea what kind of crazy day I've had." Actually, the crazy day I'm still having, he thought to himself as he switched on his walkie-talkie again. "Attention all units, Pete here. Operations Camera and Shark are called off. Now we're just looking for the cat." No sooner had he spoken than a white kitten came flying out of the pizzeria. "Scram!" the cook shouted after him, waving a pan at the cat. "Skedaddle! He got into my fish. Can you believe it?" The cat hid under the table. "Half of the city's looking for him," laughed the firefighter. "I've got to take him back to his owner." "I'll go with you," said Meg. Perfect, thought Pete. It's hard to hold onto a cat while you're driving a car. The cat was squirming. It obviously wasn't used to travelling. Suddenly, Paul's voice came over the walkie-talkie. "The cat named Pete has been found. You can call off the search." "Found?" Pete stopped the car and stared over at the little white ball of fur curled up on Meg's lap. The cat had given up the fight and was now purring contentedly. "So, who are you then, Kitty?" he asked. "And what's your name?" "He's mine. I mean ours, okay?" Meg said, flashing Pete her prettiest smile. "You can choose a name for him yourself." 6 months later, Pete, Meg, and Percy were watching the evening news. Suddenly an image appeared of a shark with a camera in the shadow of a circling helicopter. "This is the winning photo of the Golden Hair competition," said the newsreader. "The lucky winner decided to donate his cash prize to the Lego City Fire Brigade as thanks for saving his life." "Hooray!" shouted Pete. "We'll buy ourselves a fireboat." "Meow, meow," chimed in Percy. Well, that was a fun book today, wasn't it, boys and girls? I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. As always, I want you to be kind to one another, look after one another, and try and have some fun every single day. Until next time, bye-bye.